Hey, I'm back with another movie review slash impression. Unscripted, unfiltered. I'm going to just be word vomiting again. This time we are covering the new Superman movie. And here is my quick review. It's very good. Go see this movie. I've seen it twice, and I will talk about why I think it's better the second time later in my spoiler section. But yes, if you have not seen Superman yet, go see it in theaters. This movie deserves more money. We need more movies like this. To me, this is my favorite Superman movie. Maybe not my favorite Superman yet, but my favorite Superman movie hands down. So go see it. Now, let's jump into the spoilers. So spoilers for this movie. This takes place, you kind of saw the trailer. If you've seen the trailer, it takes place with Superman being beaten on the back foot, and he's on the back foot throughout the whole movie. It takes place 3 years into Superman revealing himself. So this is not an origin story. You're in the thick of it. You're on the peak of a climactic tale, and you get to see that week of him dealing with this. Like, it's just awesome way to start the movie. Real quick, I'm going to talk about why I think this movie is better the second time. The pacing. I always like to talk about the pacing of a movie because I think that can make or break a lot of movies, is just the pacing. You can have a really good movie with really bad pacing that just really draws you out, or really easy to miss stuff. I can tell that they took criticisms of other Superman movies, maybe specifically Superman Returns and maybe even the older 70s Superman movie, and they made the movie not slow paced. It is a fast movie. You're thrown into the middle of it. Superman's beat on his back foot. He runs home, gets healed, jumps right back in the fight, gets beat up again. And it's all just this plot, essentially, for Lex Luthor to imprison / kill Superman. That's the whole movie's plot. And he's just going about it in a very indirect way. That, I think, is the main issue of this movie, is it's messy and fast-paced. You don't have time to really, absorb everything that comes at you. You just got to be on top of it. That's my only complaint, really, with this movie, is that I think it could have benefited from having moments that slow down a little bit more, that aren't just Superman and Lois Lane kissing and having these romantic moments. I wish there were more slower, heartfelt moments in between this, because they did a good job. They skipped the backstory. You skip some of the more boring parts of, like, one of the OG's superheroes, like, that you don't have to explain 1,000 times. But yeah, I wish the movie could slow down a little bit, and that is why watching it a second time, I cried more the second time. There are 2 to 3 moments, I think, in the movie that can really make you tear up, and it can vary a lot between who's watching it. And I did tear up during my first watching, but literally the second time I saw it, I was able to really, because I knew what was happening in the movie, I knew what to expect, I knew the story. I was really able to kind of really express those feelings a lot more. I was able to really just cry on some moments. Like, I teared up thinking about some of it, especially the end of the movie. It's so good. Crypto the dog is in it. I got really teared up with how Superman cares so much for this dog that's not even his. It's not his dog. He's just kind of watching the dog right now, taking care of it temporarily. Superman basically literally lets Lex Luthor, like, turns himself in, gets imprisoned by Lex Luthor just so he can find and save this dog. That's, like, the only reason he did it. He cared about the dog being alone and scared and wanted to turn himself in so he could help find this dog. And that made me tear up. I'm like, that was good. The scenes where he's saving people, but really what's important for him is life and saving people. And that's what he does in the movie constantly. Not just people, he saves a squirrel. Even I love that scene, and that scene almost didn't make it in because it wasn't popular with testers, people that watched the movie. Gunn removed it, and then he's like, I need the squirrel back, and he put the squirrel back in. Good on you, Gunn. So he saves a squirrel during a kaiju fight, and then he worried about the kaiju too. He wanted to save the kaiju, and then the Justice Gang shows up. That's the name, with Green Lantern, Hawkgirl, and Mr. Terrific. Awesome cast. My only other gripe on the movie is Hawkgirl didn't get as much moment to shine. She has one really good moment, but she didn't get as many as the other 2 characters for sure. The Green Lantern guy, I forget his name, he's kind of a dick Green Lantern. He's full of himself, but he still does the right thing. It just might take him a little bit longer. I really liked him. He was fun. Mr. Terrific has an amazing scene that's very Guardians of the Galaxy. Music video quality, camera moving around, seeing all of the stuff he's doing in this fight scene. They showed a little bit, I think, in the trailer, like a tiny bit, but it plays to such a good summer song while he's just kicking everyone's ass. And he's like 50% trying too, so that makes it even better. While protecting Lois Lane too, it's such a good fight. But besides that, if it just had moments to slow down a little bit, I think the let you kind of absorb these emotional moments that are happening, I think the movie would be better. But seeing it a second time, like I said, I was really able to enjoy it, those emotional moments. Superman sacrificing his freedom and maybe his life to save a bad dog, a quote unquote. He's not bad. He's just not trained. His interactions with Lois Lane are amazing. Lois Lane knows he's Superman because it's been 3 years. They've been dating for 3 months. 3 seem to be used a lot on this. She's kind of more cold, closed off. Very good. She's very good, very intelligent. Pushed him for an interview that had a really good back and forth heated exchange that kind of helped paint the world and why Superman saving lives between two countries that are fighting can be very political and messy, but it doesn't matter because he's saving lives. Who cares about the politics? Human lives should not be political, and that's like the heart of the movie. There's a good moment where when he gets arrested, he has no rights because he is an alien, literally. So he has no rights on that. The scene before he does turn himself in, we have that punk rock line where like having empathy is punk rock, basically. How Lois Lane is trying to say that he's not really punk rock, and then he's saying, well, maybe caring is the real punk rock. He doesn't say that. He says maybe that's the real punk rock, but it's essentially just seeing the beauty in people and caring about life and being empathetic and good. That is real punk rock. And I would say that empathy is not mainstream right now. So the punk rock side of that would be being more empathetic and caring more about everyone, not just yourself, not just those that are in your immediate circle, but like everyone. You know, you should care about all human life, and I really love that. That got me teared up. Superman was able to break out because there's a really, really intense scene with Lex Luthor essentially executing someone that helped Superman get out of a crater when he got beat. Just a food street guy. And the food street guy, oh my God. Sorry, make me tear up again. The food street guy, while he's being used as a piece to get Superman to tell him where his parents are and stuff like that, to get information out of him, the food street guy's like, don't tell him anything. Sorry, I'm getting choked up on this. The guy's like, don't tell him anything. I don't have any family. I'm okay. Don't worry about me. Don't tell him anything. And watching it a second time, this is again why the movie is good a second time. He lies. His father or a family member, older family members there with him selling street food. He has family. The guy literally lies to say, hey, don't worry about me. It's okay. He lies to him. But yeah, Lex Luthor kills him. Very powerful moment. But again, my only complaint in the movie is I don't think they give you enough time to really, really, really absorb that powerful moment. A metahuman in the cage with Superman that can turn his body into different elements and is subduing Superman with kryptonite. And when that metahuman, once he sees that innocent man get shot while trying to protect Superman, he loses it too, which is really good. Like, because I lost it, he lost it. He's like, hey, can you really go save my child? Because the reason why he's doing all of this is because Lex Luthor literally has his child in another cell across from him with like a guy holding like a gun to a baby alien or something. I don't know. I don't remember if it was a gun, but they have the baby alien. Superman's like, yeah, I can save him. You just got to help me. Gets rid of the kryptonite. He generates like a mini yellow sun to help heal him a little bit. Superman smashes through, saves the baby, finds Crypto. Crypto was kind of stuck in like a loop. They like were doing like animal testing looking vibes to him. But he like had probes on his head and was being fed images of squirrels. It seemed harmless, but just the fact that it gave me that animal testing vibe I didn't like. It actually reminded me of Batty from Fern Gully with the suction cup and the wires. I didn't like that. So I'm glad that he got freed. And then there's kind of a fight sequence that I don't think is as important with these soldiers in suits with jetpacks, and he's trying to keep the baby alive. Some of that I think could have been simplified a little bit more. Maybe they wanted more action sequence with Superman. But again, another reason why I think Superman seems really weak is he was struggling in that fight, but he just recovered from like a whole day of kryptonite. And he's like still dying from it a little bit. Like it's in his body and blood. Like when he escapes that area, he has to go rest. Mr. Terrific and them come in to help save him. Superman goes rest with his family, which I've seen other people talk about this. His dad and mom, I believe that they are farmers, for the first time, really. And I wish there was a little bit more scenes with his parents because they were really good. He has this great moment with his son, letting him know that parents can't tell you who you are. They can only give you the tools to help you find out who you are. Another great scene where I almost teared up on, and that allows Superman to kind of say, like, hey, he is not dictated by what his kryptonite parents said, or even what his family says now, they just gave him the tools he needs to be his own man, and he knows what's right, and he's gonna do what's right. I didn't touch a base on this because there's just so much in this movie to cover. But yeah, the reason why Lex Luthor is able to arrest Superman is his kryptonite parents left him a message. The message was damaged. He only got to read or hear the first part of the message saying, be good. This is the planet we're sending you to where you can do the most good at. Second half of the message, which they emphasize heavily in the movie multiple times that it is real and not Lex Luthor doing a fake video. It is real, where his parents are telling him to remake kryptonite, become ruler of this planet, get a harem of women, not harem, but get multiple wives, like, repopulate the world, and then dispatch. I like the wording that was used a lot in the translation because it didn't say kill, it said like dispatch your enemies as needed. But like the wording was used in the translation was kind of vague, and I didn't like that. But it was used against him to say, hey, Superman's here to rule Earth, take over Earth, and make a harem. So it's turned him into like an invading alien. He was thrown in prison for it. Superman never grew up on those words, and those kind of shatter his viewpoint of his real family. And this talk with his dad about how that doesn't matter. They gave you the tools you need, but it's your actions, your choice, and what you do is what makes you who you are. That was so well done. So good. I wish we had more moments with them. After that big talk, the war between the two countries starts to go off again. Superman's about to go intervene in that country again, but Lex doesn't want that. He opens up a rift that's about to destroy Metropolis and possibly the world if it's not stopped. Lex, though, is on top of it. He's like, we can shut it off whenever we want. But Lex kind of wants to... Lex would sacrifice half of the world to kill Superman, and it's very well shown in this. So he can stop it whenever he wants to is basically horrible. It's horrible because he just needs enough. They even say it. He's like, I'll shut it off when it's about to destroy a city I actually care about. He even says that line. That show you how unhinged he is, how focused he is on killing Superman. So Superman can't go save the people of the weaker country from being basically annihilated with tanks and guns and like high-end military equipment, and they're shown in rags and machetes and old AK like World War II, Cold War weaponry and stuff. So he goes to try to confront Lex Luthor, gets double teamed basically by Engineer who does nanites and Ultraman, and they tag team up on him. He almost chokes as nanites infest his lungs to try and stop him from even having oxygen in his lungs because he can hold his breath a long time because he's superhuman, of course. But he flies up, flies back down, knocks them out. In that knockout, Ultraman is revealed to be his clone finally. During that fight, Krypto is able to actually get rid of the cameras watching. So Lex Luthor is not able to control the Superman clone, and the Superman clone gets thrown into essentially a black hole. Not killed. I do know of Bizarro Superman, so I feel like they're kind of setting up for Bizarro. I do know that mostly from the Superman cartoons. While Superman is doing that, people are getting invaded, and this is another scene where I almost teared up. These kids, these freaking kids that are a part of the standoff, like kind of like a protest look, stop them. They're all started chanting Superman's name. They build a makeshift flag. You see it, I think, in the trailer. They lift it up. This kid's holding on to it, and he just says Superman, like he's like they're kind of like just praying for Superman to come save them. It gets me teared up just thinking about this movie. And right before a soldier turns to the kid with a gun, an automatic gun, military weapon, and shoots, he gets covered by a green box. The real dick of a Green Lantern shows up, protects the kid, says, hey, sorry, Superman couldn't make it, so he sent someone better, basically. Not the exact line, but he's like, you got an upgrade. And then he just goes around. Awesome scene with the Green Lantern. He just goes around flipping the tanks. They're giving him the finger as the hands come up and hit the tanks around. A Metamorpho shows up again, causes like a sandstorm. Hot Girl comes in and takes out the president of the invading nation. And they have this scene where he's like, you can't kill me because of Superman. And she's like, I'm not Superman. And she drops him. And right before he lands, you see like it cuts to Alka-Seltzer being dropped in a glass of water. And it's just so good. So that part gets taken care of. Superman confronts Lex Luthor. Really good scene. Lex Luthor tries to run away. He knows he's beat finally. And he tries to run when he sees Superman coming. It is so good. Such a good scene. He's like calmly going in through the portal. He sees from the corner that Superman's coming, flying right at him, and he just starts bolting. Superman just gets him. It's so good. Krypto shows up, throws him around for a little bit. During this great confrontation between Superman and Lex Luthor, it's so good. And Superman gives him a huge speech about how that's something he's never understood about is that he is human. He has fears, doubts, hope. He doesn't know what he's going to do when he wakes up in the morning. It is just such a good speech. I will never do it justice. You have to watch the movie if you haven't. But such a good speech. Lex Luthor's losing it. He's unhinged. It's so good. Mr. Terrific shows up, stops the rift from happening. He does this face push on the guy on the console. That is the best I've ever seen. He just goes up to him. He's like, I know what I'm doing. He just pushes him out of the way by his face. He's like, I'm Mr. Terrific. He just does it. Yeah, Mr. Terrific is awesome. He needs to show up in a lot more movies. I want a standalone movie with that guy. After Lex Luthor's completely defeated from this whole rift thing, Lois Lane and team is able to crack the story on Lex Luthor and his involvement in the war, his involvement in selling weapons, his involvement on doing all this to kind of get rid of Superman. They're able to crack that with a side character. Lex's girlfriend takes selfies throughout the whole movie, and apparently she has a thing for Jimmy Olsen, who is just a ladies' man. He just has it. He has the mojo. Just unexplained. He just has the mojo, and women like him. I love that. It's funny and cute. And he's able to get evidence from her because in her selfies there's incriminating evidence from Lex Luthor, and they're able to use that against him. So Lex Luthor at the end gets arrested. Lois and Lane have a really good moment where earlier in the movie, Superman, before he went to let himself get arrested, he tells Lois Lane that he loves her and he should have told her sooner, and then goes and gets arrested. In this scene, she says it back. She says, I love you. And it's just such a good scene. Just so many good stuff. At the very end of the movie, not a post-credit scene. At the end of the movie, Crypto's owner comes back, and it's Supergirl, who travels to other planets that don't have the yellow sun so she can get drunk. And Crypto tackles her and just jumps on her, breaking into the floor. And then you find out why the Crypto is not trained well, doesn't have boundaries. It's such a good, wholesome moment. And at the very end, before the credits roll, they ask if he wants to play the images of his parents like at the beginning of the movie, but in this time it's not his kryptonite parents, it's the adoptive parents. You get to see him as a kid with his father and mother, and there's so many good scenes just swirling around as he's laying in this chair, smiling with the sun on him. With one scene of him being held up as a kid doing the Superman flying, pretending to fly like Superman. Just so good. And it cuts. And then you get to enjoy just some fun in-credit sequences that have nothing to do with the story. The movie's great, and I definitely one of those movies that it's messy, but it's messy in the best way. There's a lot going on, but I'm okay with it because it made me want to watch it again, and it made me really want to appreciate those, and I think the movie was better a second time. To close it all out, my favorite Superman movie, I still think Christopher Reeves probably embodied Clark Kent a little better. To me, I think Christopher Reeves did a better job of becoming Clark Kent and then being Superman. But this is my favorite Superman, probably. I don't think we got enough of Clark Kent in this one, but it was my favorite Superman and my favorite Superman movie. But I love Superman 1. I love Superman Returns. I don't really remember Superman 2. I should check that out again. I loved Man of Steel. But this movie is my Superman movie, and it made me fall in love with the character again. I think it's a movie that we need in this time right now. It's a very hopeful movie, and it just focuses on doing what's right and focusing on empathy again. I think that's really important. So yeah, what I would rate this movie, if I had to give it a number score, I would probably give it a 9 out of 10 for sure. Maybe an 8.5 at the lowest, but 9 out of 10 for sure movie. I just absolutely love this movie. So it's, to me, probably the best superhero movie of the year. It's been really rare where I've had superhero movies kind of affect me this way emotionally. And it's not in oh, this is sad. That does happen, but this is so much more depth to it. I'm really happy about that. And James Gunn is good at that. He's good at making a movie that's fast paced, lots going on. You don't have boring moments in it, but he gut punches you. And you're not expecting it. He does a good job, and he did a good job with this. And I'm excited to see what DCU has after this. I think this is a great setup for it. I heard that there's going to be a Supergirl movie. I'm excited for that as well. It doesn't mean they're going to be good, but this makes me excited. So I love this movie. So yeah, thank you for watching, and put anything else in the comments. There's so much to cover. And since I did this with no notes, this is just for my brain. I know I didn't do everything in order. There's just so much to cover. But if there's anything I missed or anything awesome, put down in the comments. If I'm wrong and Christopher Reeves is a better Superman, Man of Steel is a better Superman, Superman Returns was a better Superman, let me know. Because here's the thing, is I know there is some discourse, especially with the Snyderverse, the Snyder heads, or whatever you want to call them, on the Man of Steel being their Superman. That's good. That's your Superman. The more gritty, real, more serious movie that feels like it could belong in our world right now. That's 100%, 1000% valid. I'm just saying that this is my Superman, as this is the Superman I want. I don't think he would fit in our real world, but that's what I want our world to be. Is I want it to be the world where that Superman is. I want it to be better, and that's how I view it. And everyone's opinions are valid. I liked all of these Superman movies that I've seen, and this just happens to be my favorite. But yeah, give me all the info in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Bye.